Let's get into Everyday Struggle versus the Joe Budden Podcast. Which one do we think is better?
Man, I started with the Joe Budden Podcast, as I'm sure you did.
No, I was late on it, and I kind of got into it
after Everyday Struggle.
Yeah.
Nah, I was doing the Budden Podcast. I'm pretty sure I've been peeping Budden's podcast since before they even had video for it. I think in the very beginning it was just audio, like ours, if I remember correctly. But I've been peeping the Budden Podcast pretty much since the Drake beef. I think that might have been where I heard about his podcast.
Okay.
When he first went off on Drake, because he did it on his podcast. And I think that made me go back and listen to what he said or something, and then next thing you know, it's just one of those YouTube things. You see one thing, you watch another, you see this, and then next thing you know, I was watching it. And and then that was the time too where you had a few different podcasts coming out and kind of competing. Like Taxstone had his podcast. There was like a void in the podcast world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Vlad has his pocket, and he has his pocket. He's not competing with podcasts because he does direct interviews. It's not, you know what I mean? So like there was like, I feel like a vacuum there that needed to be filled. Well, because like him or like the Breakfast Club, right? Like even though they're a radio show, it's not a podcast, so they have their own pocket. Like they're two things that whether, you know, like
similar type shows though, it's like the same content talking about, but it's different.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So I feel like there was a vacuum where a podcast like that type of show is needed, you know what I mean? And Drink Champs came, the Budden Podcast came, Taxstone came. Unfortunately, Taxstone went away, but you had all these kind of people.
I like the Taxstone podcast.
I like Taxstone, but to be honest, I wasn't huge on his podcast. Like
I didn't really check out a lot of it, but like the ones I did watch, I was like, okay, I like this.
Like they would just. Like when he had like Uncle Murda and stuff on the show, like they literally were just like sitting there like smoking weed and like laughing at shit for like 2 hours, and like you couldn't even like, and he didn't really videotape his podcast either, so it was all audio, and sometimes you're just like, what am I even listening to? You know what I mean? Like I'm lost. Like I don't know what. Like they've been like laughing for 20 minutes and I didn't
better
catch
to watch
the
a
joke.
video. It's definitely better. Like you catch more in the video. You see how the people.
But I mean, podcast, he did do some good shit too, but like, even like, people really championed his Meek Mill interview and his Beanie Siegel interview, and like, they were good interviews because like, he got information out of them at a crucial point. You know what I mean? Like, Beans, and like, at the time he did the interview and what he talked about, and same with Meek, the time he got the interview, he was like the only one to interview Meek since like, the whole Drake thing. Yeah. So he did good interviews, but I feel like the interviews themselves weren't conducted the greatest. Because it's like two street dudes just like talking shit, you know what I mean? And shooting the shit. It's not like so much, like he's kind of like Nori, you know what I mean? Like Nori gets great content out of people, but Nori's not a very good interviewer.
I see what you're talking about there, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like Drink Champs are just great because they sit there and get drunk and everybody wants to prove their streetness to Nori. So like people go
not like interviewers like
stories.
They're not interviewers like Andrew Martinez or Sway or...
No, or even like a Vlad or like a fucking, you know. I don't even know if Charlamagne's the best interviewer. He's good at trolling people while the other two interview.
I think he's a good one. I think he's a good interviewer. I rank him high on interviewing.
But like, when you think about it, like, no, he does have good questions.
I like Ebro too.
Yeah, a lot of people hate on Ebro, but
I like Ebro.
He's pretty good.
I think Ebro's dope. Actually, like, as far as... I
don't know how I feel about Flex.
Flex, yeah. His interviewing, I don't really like it.
He talks too much and and like just barks in there too much.
So let's get back on to so you were saying, do you like Everyday Struggle better than the Joe Budden Podcast?
Yeah.
See, I'm the opposite. I like the Joe Budden Podcast better than Everyday Struggle. I find like topic wise, they do better topics on the podcast.
That I would agree with. Yeah. Like, they talk about the same shit a lot on Everyday Struggle. Yeah. And I like the contrast, the debate. Like, Nadeska's there just to, like, basically be a mediator. And then,
but as far as, like...
Academics and Budden always are bumping heads. And it's always devil's advocate. As to where, like, Joe Budden Podcast, a lot of times they'll just be, like, clowning on Maul or Rory or fucking...
That's the shit that I really like.
I like that, too.
Like, sometimes, like, in some of the podcasts, like, I'll, like...
but they agree too much.
I'll like Maul or Rory better than Budden sometimes.
Yeah.
Like sometimes Maul like Like he doesn't talk too much in the podcast. Like he kind of stays quiet for some parts. But when he does jump in, he's funny.
He says some funny shit, yeah.
And like Rory, like his quick wittiness, with just like the one-liners.
Yeah.
His one-liners, and I think Rory and Mal are better than Nadeska and DJ Academics as far as like to have on a show.
Like I can agree with that. Like I love the Budden podcast, but I just mean like all in all. I mean, I have how much time a week to watch it, so it's hard to watch both. Like every episode, Everyday Struggle every day, and then Budden's podcast when it comes out. And actually have free time to do shit.
I haven't been watching the Everyday Struggle as much lately. Like I'll watch maybe once a week or whatever like that.
Yeah.
But then when the Budden podcast only comes out once a week.
Yeah.
So I usually watch that whole thing.
See, I like the Everyday Struggle just because it's always contrast. Like sometimes, you know, like you'll be watching the Budden podcast and they all have like similar views on shit. So it's not like I like when you get that devil's advocate.
But even when they do, yeah, they even say that. Okay, like I'm gonna play
devil's advocate.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate and just play the other side of the fence and get a.
Do you know what else is pretty good? See, Brilliant Idiots is pretty good.
See, like they don't do a lot of video. Like
Struggling the Schultz, yeah, they do.
The ones I've popped up on, looked up, I've seen some videos.
They split up their, they didn't used to, but now like they split up their full podcast and do like little video clips, yeah.
Okay, like I'm gonna have to check that out though, because like I always thought it was just the audio for a long time. I've seen a couple. I've seen Academics on there.
Lalisha.
Yeah. So we agree to disagree. I think the Budden podcast is better. You think Everyday Struggle is better?
I don't even know if I think it's better. I just enjoy it more. Like I watch it more.
Okay.
I don't know, man. It's entertaining. You know what I mean? It's entertaining.
Well, they put out 5 episodes
a week,
and the Budden podcast is only 1.
And Budden goes off on there, like. They'll be talking some shit about something, and Budden, like, he gets heated, man. I love fucking Budden, man. People hate on him.
But like I said, sometimes I like Rory and Mal better.
No, I agree. I love Rory and Mal. They're awesome.
Yeah,
they make the Budden podcast.
For sure.
Like, it's just like Budden makes Everyday Struggle, because like Academics is like.
Yeah, maybe that's why, because like I'm not really too big on Academics.
Neither am I, but like.
Some of the things, when he talks, I'm just like, nah.
Because he represents the new generation. That's where Budden represents the old school.
Yeah.
So that's why it's awesome, because they clash. You know what I mean? They always have different.
Some of the classes are great, especially when like you see like.
But they fuck with each other. You know what I mean?
When Academics is talking, and you see like they just have the camera on Joe, and he's just like.
It's so funny, man.
It's so serious. That kind of shit on every show is. Pretty fire.
See, that's why I love the show, because a lot of times it will have the split screen. It's like they're constantly versing each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like constantly. Like even when one dude's talking, it'll have the split screen, and you'll see a guy on the other half of the screen.
Yeah.
And like, it's hilarious.
Yeah. Man. As far as that goes, like that's pretty dope.
Like I think it's more entertaining, just all around.
I like both shows.
I do like both.
But yeah.
I think they have better conversations on the Budden podcast.
Yeah.
And more funny conversations, but there's just the way that Everyday Struggle's set up. I think it's the better show.
Like how they start clowning each other. Like they named the one episode Frockafella.
Oh yeah. and I love the drops too, like the Where's Ja?
Homie Court.
Or the fucking Love and Hip Hop. What will who's the person? Mancini or
oh yeah. This was done in Love and Hip Hop history.
Yeah, and then there's like the one like, what will? Oh man, I can't remember. It's just like the drops they pick are fucking hilarious sometimes though.
And they were using the one, Trey can give me 20 minutes of hits.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I like both shows a lot though.
Yeah. That being said, just watch out. I'm gonna cut some stuff out of this, and you can probably cut some stuff out of this too. And like we can clown each other if we catch each other on
Did you see the Charlemagne donkey of the day for Envy?
That was funny.
The dildo?
Yeah, that was funny.
And the shit is, after that whole conversation, they didn't really get to the bottom of the whole dildo thing, like why he was accused of that to begin with. Like he's just like, I wouldn't believe my man that I'm with every day, something. And then they like pull up the clips of Envy and they don't really talk about why he was accused of that to begin with.
But then like,
and then Ye pulls up this Charlemagne clips.
Oh man!
And he gets so upset by the end of it. He's like, "Why are you doing this? Why? Like,
why?
What the? Like,
this isn't my donkey of the day. This is Envy's donkey of the day."
It was so funny.
Yeah.
It was just funny too because Charlemagne, you would think it'd be a person that would like could just take it in awesome humor, right? Like because like I dished it out whenever I deserve it. But he was actually like, the fuck? He was like, yo. Like it's like he had this like whole masterminded thing like planned out and he was so pumped and then Ye just like behind his back was like, yo, get the Charlemagne clips. We're gonna troll him at the end of this. Yeah. He just had no idea. He's like, what the fuck? That shit was hilarious.